Their dreams are many, but their destiny is one. Such is the common fate that unites all Singaporean men who have to serve national service for 22 or 24 months. In 1967, NS was introduced because Singapore needed to preserve law and order after her independence in 1965, and also to establish herself as a force to be reckoned with. But that was 46 years ago. Times have changed. Now, as the world experiences more peaceful times, one might question the relevance of national service. The buzzwords of today are world peace, economic cooperation, and diplomatic ties. In fact, for countries like Singapore, if there are any wars, they are more likely to be fought with embargoes and tariffs rather than fighter jets and guns. Thus, it is imperative that our government establishes Singapore as an economic power rather than a military might. I am not saying that NS is unnecessary, but I believe that we need to refine our national service system. After all, in an age where warfare has incorporated smart technology, it is not feasible to still force our servicemen to undergo 24 months of military training. Even in Taiwan, which despite facing uneasy relations with China, limits its active service to 12 months. Only countries like South Korea and Israel have longer conscription period than Singapore's. These countries are, however, in a state of war. My proposition is simple. Let us keep our recruits for 12 months and not any longer. Singapore devotes 5 to 7% of her GDP in defense spending, and that's the highest in Southeast Asia. Hence, a key benefit of shortening NS will be the freeing up of financial resources so that we may invest in things for our economic growth. For the benefit of all the lovely ladies here, the majority of NS training takes place in the first 6 to 9 months. I don't see how reducing it to a year will compromise what we take away from it. A shorter NS would also mean that our countrymen can finally realize their dreams sooner instead of being tied down to a common destiny. The reality is this: the opportunity for our countrymen to contribute meaningfully to the country is limited by their rank. I am a sergeant, and I had my fair share on seeing how people can play very absurd roles in the SAF. Some of my personal favorites can be metaphorically called the doorman and the candyman. The doormen are professional door openers. All day long they open doors for others and they repeat this robotic motion until they complete 2 years of their service. The only useful skill one might earn from this is probably patience, cultivated by holding a door open for a prolonged period of time. On the other hand, we have the Candyman. They are professional gamers. These men use their iPhones to reach new levels of greatness in Candy Crush Saga. As much as we might want to groom professional gamers, we must concede that national service is not the right platform to do so, and would never be. Indeed, no citizen will be gratified knowing that their precious taxes are being used to finance such illustrious careers in the SAF. That's the reason why our national service system must change. Ladies and gentlemen, I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when national service was not about time, but the quality of our training. I dreamed that the careers of the candymen and doormen would die. I dreamed that NS would be rewarding. I am confident that if NS is to be shortened, men of Singapore will be contributing more quality time while in service. To all the gentlemen here, imagine you only had to serve for 12 months and not any longer. What would you do with the remaining free time? If I had that free time, I would join Asia's Next Top Model, as I want to realize my personal dream to be the king of the runway. Think no further. Let us give our men the freedom to pursue more meaningful things, like starting university earlier, starting work earlier, and even starting a family earlier. Join me in my online campaign at www.saveourarmyboys.com to reduce the duration of national service. Let our voices be heard to urge the government to debate this issue in the parliament. Let us take a stand and stand up for Singapore. I say, why have 24 when you can have 12?